Hello, everybody. I'm back. Once again, I apologize for the forced absence. It was the nastiest cold in my life. Please, please don't do the same and make sure you dress warmly, eat well, and get vaccinated. Today, we'll be exploring the intriguing topic of infants' temperament and their emotional development. We'll look into how infants form the initial attachment to their caregivers and how these bonds are influenced by the interactions they share. Think of the relationship between an infant and their mother as a dynamic exchange. Both the mother and the infant actively contribute, shaping their environment together. It's a bidirectional process where the infants also play a significant role in creating their own surroundings. Evolutionary and biological approaches argue that the social behaviors displayed today reflect a long process of adaptation to the environment. In the case of mother and infant, they believe that behaviors emerge to ensure infant survival. Specifically, infants are seen as programmed to behave in ways that keep the mother or primary caregiver, the person who serves as the major attachment figure for the infant, in close range and motivate her to provide adequate care. These behaviors include smiling, vocalizing, and eye contact. Research indicates that adults find baby like features, such as large eyes, round faces, and small noses, particularly appealing. This cuteness factor is believed to trigger caregiving behaviors in adults, ensuring that infants receive the attention and care they need. Evolutionary theorists believed mothers are programmed to access and respond to infant needs. The behaviors that keep mother and baby close during the early weeks and months of life are part of an attachment process that also involves forming a strong emotional bond. Initially, the baby seeks care from virtually anyone. However, if the mother responds to these needs in a sensitive and consistent manner, the baby gradually begins to rely on her for comfort and reassurance when upset and uses her as a secure base from which to explore the world. This behavior is what we refer to as a secure attachment. Attachment between mother and child includes a strong emotional bond. According to Bowlby, sensitive and responsive mothers, along with security attached infants, are often seen as natural's ideal. In contrast, less responsive mothers and infants who do not seek comfort and reassurance from their mothers are viewed as abnormal and maladaptive. Note that contemporary theories challenge some of these views, suggesting that early environments were more unstable and dangerous than suggested by Bowlby. For example, children who form a secure attachment with a severely depressed caregiver may be at greater risk for psychological problems. Interestingly, children who do not form a close attachment in such situations might actually be less at risk. Environmental/learning approaches. This theory primarily focuses on the processes of socialization, where an infant behavior, beliefs, and expectations are shaped to fit social roles and expectations through social learning and conditioning mechanisms. During this process, both infants and mothers engage in behaviors that are either positively or negatively reinforcing, leading to a learned pattern of attachment. Behaviors such as vocalization, smiling, and separation protests are believed to be influenced by conditioning. For example, this approach contends that infants produce behavior that encourage the mother to approach and remain close, crying, smiling, vocalizing, and so on, because these behavior result in either positive reinforcement, milk, a rattle, or being rocked, or negative reinforcement, the removal of a wet diaper. Similarly, the mother learns to respond to these behaviors because they are also result in either negative reinforcement, the baby stops crying, or positive reinforcement, the baby smiles, coos, and clings. Cognitive developmental theorists believe that social behaviors are influenced by cognitive abilities. Social cognition, which refers to our understanding of social world and interpersonal relationships, plays a key role here. Both infants and mothers are thought to mentally represent the relationship, creating internal working models. These models help them form expectation and interpret and predict relational events. For example, an infant may develop expectations regarding the mother's behavior based on the type of treatment she provides. If the mother responds quickly and reliably to the infant signals of distress or care seeking, the baby may develop the expectation that the mother will be available if needed and thus be less likely to cry when left alone. Likewise, the caregiver may develop an internal working model of the infant that leads her to expect the baby will be eager to interact with her. As a result, she may become more likely to play with the infant. This dynamic helps shape the way they relate to each other and navigate the social world. Social cultural approaches. Social culture theorists view infant survival as heavily dependent on the nurture and protection provided by caregivers, noting that different cultures prescribe various behaviors to meet these survival needs. Studies show that factors outside the caregiver infant relationship can significantly influence its quality. For instance, family stress, support, employment, and changes in supplemental childcare can all impact the mother infant relationship either directly or indirectly. The developmental niche consists of three subsystems: the physical and social settings in which the child lives, cultural customs of childcare and child rearing, and the psychology of the caregivers. The psychology of the caregivers includes the beliefs about the nature and needs of children, their child rearing goals, and their understanding of effective rearing techniques. Socialization practices are largely aligned with parental child rearing goals and beliefs. For example, in cultures with high infant mortality rates, the primary parental goal is to maximize survival. Parents in these cultures tend to have more children than those in communities with low child mortality rates. They also provide very attentive physical care during the first 2 or 3 years when the children are at greater risk.